Hello, you wonderful sojourners on the path to industrial healing. How are you doing? Are you finding the furies a little furious? There's a lot going on. I'm feeling it a bit too. And for me, this is a call to really come back to basics. Basics in self-care, but also basics in my work. And in this week's update, I want to tell you some really simple things that are going on. This really comes down to food today, which does it get any more basic? It's one of the only things we all need. And I've really been looking at food in my work, in my money, and in the models that are evolving out there. In my work, I have the great excitement to launch the next Materiality Workshop series. It's kicking off next week. People are picking their companies that they're going to assess, and I will be assessing a global agribusiness company. Quick reminder, materiality, as I describe it with reality infused, is comparing what a company says its purpose is with how it actually makes money, and then taking a look at, well, what does the world need instead in order for this company to truly serve life? And what better place to look at that than in the context of food? But meanwhile, this isn't just an abstract idea. I eat every day and I pay for my food. So I've also been taking a really close look at how I spend my money. And you may recall I published some information about what I'm no longer doing with my money, where I stopped having any investments in what we might call the markets, even in the leading pioneers in so-called ethical finance and ethical investing. And so now I'm getting a lot more careful about making sure where I really put my money is into the hands of producers who are doing profoundly restorative and regenerative things with their time, labor, and knowledge. It's taken me a little bit of networking and asking questions and getting to know the lay of the land. But indeed, when we start to look for what's working well, we find that it is around us and it's up to us to energize it and, frankly, fund it. So I'm not talking in this case about investing in the way we often use the word investing, putting my money somewhere and hoping to get more back. I'm talking about a very basic concept of being part of contributing to a farmer's financial bottom line so that he and his family can produce in a way that we know to be ecologically and nutritionally restorative. I mentioned models, and I'm really inspired by the evolution of the business model of one particular farmer. And this isn't about something that's Instagrammable or something to smear all over the social media networks. This is simply to tell you the evolution of a model that I see with my own eyes. He used to go to farmers markets and do more farm gate sales. That was very weather dependent, very dependent on people deciding to show up, deciding that day they'd go shopping there instead of somewhere else. That puts a lot of risk on the farmer, who is meanwhile trying to produce in ways that go against all of the regular incentives that big ag and industrial ag are making, unfortunately, easier for farmers to participate in. So over the last couple of seasons, he's evolved his model so that he invites customers to pay upfront for the year. Of course, that's a bigger capital outlay. But when you run the numbers, it's actually significantly less than you might pay if you ran around to farmers markets all season long, and you have influence on what he chooses to raise and harvest each year. So as eaters, we become a lot more involved in the model. And it's far beyond the transactional nature and just the shifting of cash flow. He and his family and his community are actively part of teaching others how to raise and grow food and how to produce in a way that restores the soil, honors the local plants and animals and biodiversity, and really continues to explore and evolve what would be regenerative. I find this model very inspiring. It's hard to replicate out in the social media network. It's hard to promote and advertise, but on the ground, in our stomachs and in our communities, it makes sense. And so this is how I'm facing the furies, coming back to basics: food, money, time, energy. Where can I best spend mine and receive others so that I'm healthy and well and doing work that I believe contributes to an economy that serves life? That's a bit about what I'm doing along the trail. I welcome your questions, feedback, and ideas. What are you doing to face the furies? What models are you seeing that are inspiring you and changing how you interact with your basics in life? I'd love to hear from you. Feel free to leave comments if you're watching this on YouTube or Instagram. Get in touch directly through my website. Keep me posted, and thanks so much for walking alongside on this wild and woolly trail. Looking forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now.